Hi, good morning everybody. Welcome to the Early Bird. I'm half awake. Let's get into it. There were 4 games yesterday, again. And I'll try to sweep through these as quick as I can, guys. So if I make a mistake here and there, please forgive me. I'm telling you, my vision, I have double vision right now, guys. I literally have double vision. All right, guys, let's start in the East. Here we go. Maple Leafs edge Bruins in Game 2, tie Eastern first round. Let's look at the numbers. Toronto had 33 shots, the Bruins 29. They also had the edge in faceoffs, 55% to 45. Leafs 1 for 3 in the power play, the Bruins 1 for 2. Good hitting affair again in this one. 41 hits for Toronto, 44 for the Bruins. Leafs had 11 blocks, the Bruins had 18. 10 giveaways Toronto, 6 Boston, 9 takeaways Toronto, 7 Boston. Shots on goal per period. 14-10 Toronto in the first, 12-9 Toronto in the second, 10-7 Bruins in the third. Scoring. Geeky opens it up for the Bruins, gives them that important 1-goal lead at 10:18 of the first. Then Domi replies at 10:32, 14 seconds later. We'll talk about that in a sec, guys, briefly after I read through this. Then Pasternak again gives the Bruins an important lead with 8 seconds left in the first, so they have all the momentum after 1 period, Boston. Then Tavares in the second period on the power play at 18:26. And Matthews with the game winner in the third at 12:06. And if you're going to ask my opinion here, guys, Linus Ullmark, okay? I'm not an Ullmark fan. I never have been. I've always thought he's overrated. I was thrilled when the Sabres did not sign this guy. He's not as mentally strong as Swayman. I've been saying this for years now. He's the reason they blew it last year. And if they're going to do this, Boston, if they're going to gamble that bad, if they think they can beat Toronto that easy, that they can just flip goalies, they're out of their minds. This is the playoffs. You stick with the goalie that's hot. Swayman was brilliant in Game 1, and they put in Ullmark in this game, who was good. But he just couldn't, you could tell this guy is going to let one in. You could tell watching, and he did. So I was ticked off they put Ullmark in nets. That's where I stand with that. Boston, if you want to lose to Toronto, keep flipping goalies. If you want to win this series, stick with Swayman. Do not put in Ullmark. Bad mistake, I thought. A bad call by the coach. Just bad, bad, bad. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. So I was ticked, as you can tell. Let's go to game number 2. Hurricanes overwhelm Islanders, rally from 3 down to win game 2. The numbers. Look at the shots on goal, and yes, that is how it went, folks. That's how it went. The Hurricanes had 39 shots. The Islanders had 12 shots in this game. So it looks like my call that the Islanders in an upset here was a bad one. 59% on the faceoffs for Carolina, 41% for the Islanders. Carolina 1 for 5 on the power play. The Islanders 1 for 1. Carolina had 32 hits in this game, so they picked up their hitting pace in this game, and the Islanders had 37. But a lot of those were chase hits, folks. I'll explain that in a sec. Well, not really chase hits, but we're going to blow this game hits, if that makes any sense. Look at this, though. Look at this stat. 8 blocks for Carolina, 36 for the Islanders. So you can imagine how much they were under siege in this game. 11 giveaways for Carolina, 2 for the Islanders, 6 takeaways Carolina, 5 Islanders. Shots on goal per period. Look at this, 10-7 in the first, and then it happens. 12-4 in the second, 17-1 Carolina in the third. All Carolina sweep, by the way, for that 39-12 total. 29-5 in the last 2 periods. Scoring. Palmieri opens it up for the Islanders at 16:22 of the first, makes it 1-0. Then Horvat with 15 seconds left. So you wouldn't think they're going to be outshot from this point on. They're up 2-0, a good first period. And look at this, early in the second, they make it 3-0. Anders Lee gets his first of the playoffs at 3:54. So everything's going the way of the Islanders at this point, and then for some reason they just stopped playing. And I honestly believe it's age, guys. I really do. Teravainen makes it 3-1, so they can salvage something in that period. Carolina. We go to the third. Jarvis makes it 3-2 at 10:43. So they're up 3-1 with a little over 9 minutes left, the Islanders, and they choke. Make it 3-2. And then Sebastian Aho, with his first of the playoffs, ties it 3-3 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. So they almost squeaked it out, the Islanders, but my goodness, they were so under siege. Not surprised they collapsed. 9 seconds later, Martinook makes it 4-3, and they pull the goalie, the Islanders, in desperation, maybe trying to get their second shot at a period, whatever. And then 5-3, empty net goal by Gensel. So Gensel's been a nice fit over there, by the way. Full marks to Carolina. Absolutely were the better team, no doubt. And they stood up to them physically in this game, I thought, again. But the Islanders aren't even being that physical, I think, in this series. Not like not like they're capable. But it really didn't matter. I mean, when you're being outplayed to the extent this team was outplayed, there was nothing much the Islanders could do except watch. The Islanders, folks, is just I think I misjudged that series. I'm pretty sure I did. We'll see what happens if things change in their home ice. All right, let's go out west. Stone scores in return. Golden Knights hold off Stars in Game 1. Let's look at the numbers. And yep, look at that, folks. Shots were 30-15 in this game. And I don't know what they're going to do about their goaltending in Dallas, because if they're going to get a very average goaltending again this year, if Ottinger is not up to the challenge, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to figure that out, because it is really going to come down to goaltending. And if they can't get goaltending, they're not going to win this series. They're going to need goaltending if they're going to have any hopes at all of beating Vegas in this series. That's actually what I believe anyway, guys. But that's my little rant there. Ottinger, again, looking very human in this playoff this year so far after Game 1. All right, let's continue now. 55% on the faceoffs for Dallas, 45 for Vegas. Vegas were 2 for 2 on the power play, and Dallas 0 for 2. Look at the hits in the game, though. 33 hits for Dallas, 56 for Vegas. So Vegas, they weren't getting the hit, they weren't getting the shots, guys, but they were sure as hell in this game. They were in this game. They had 15 blocks, Dallas. Vegas had 20. 9 giveaways by Dallas, 2 by Vegas. 15 takeaways, though, by Dallas, 10 by Vegas. Shots on goal per period. 11-8 Dallas in the first, 9-3 Dallas in the second, 10-4 Dallas in the third for that double ratio of 30-15. Scoring. And Stone opens it up on the power play, makes it 1-0 at 1:23, sets the tone of the game really, because look at here, minutes later at 8:27, Marchessault makes it 2-0, and here we go. The Dallas is playing from behind. And that sometimes is all it takes, is your goalie not showing up, making that big save. Dallas makes it 2-1 at 16:07. And a wild first, though. Hurdle replies to that goal on the power play again for Vegas, makes it 3-1. And Jason Robertson at 17:51. And Jason Robertson, less than a minute later at 18:29, makes it 3-2. And folks, let me see if I did not cut out the other period. I don't think I cut out the other period. Let me get to it over here. Sorry for the delay, because I, for some reason, did not cut it out. Yep, here it is. All right, so we go to the second, then McNabb makes it 4-2 for Michael. So as you can see, they just stayed in control of the lead all game long. And in the third, Marchment makes it 4-3 at 11:46, and that's as close as they came. So, yeah, that was it for Vegas's. You know, Vegas is mentally strong. Let's just admit it. They're a mentally strong team. And if any team thinks they can just go in there and because they had a goalie that played good against Calgary a few years ago in a series isn't going to show up in this series, I don't know what to tell you. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're going to be in bad trouble very, very soon. Oh, there it was. The other clip was right there the whole time, guys. I didn't need to delay it all. All right, let's get to the nightcap, guys. Like I said, I'm half awake. Here we go. McDavid has 5 assists for Oilers in Game 1 win against Kings. Folks, if McDavid starts going off, we know who's going to win the Stanley Cup. I'll tell you right now. All right, the numbers say 45 shots for Edmonton, 37 for LA, 57% on the faceoffs. Edmonton, 56% on the faceoffs for the Oilers, 44 for the Kings. Power play, the Oilers were 3 for 4. They were clicking. Kings 0 for 2. Look at the hits, folks. 47 for the Oilers, and look at the Kings. 70 hits. Still couldn't slow this team down. 70 hits. You don't see that often in the playoffs. You see 60s, but 70 is rare. 23 blocks for the Oilers, 16 for the Kings, 5 giveaways Edmonton, 7 Kings. Takeaways, the Oilers had 12, the Kings had 7. Shots on goal per period. And a very balanced attack by Edmonton, as you can see, 15-7 in the first. The Kings had the edge 17-15 in the second, and the Oilers had the edge 15-13 in the third for that 45-37 total. Scoring. Hyman from McDavid and Bouchard. Wow, let's just run through the scores, and I'm not going to give all the assists. Hyman gets the goal at 6:52. The Oilers open up the scoring. I was worried for Edmonton in this game, I'll be honest. I didn't think it was going to go the way it did. Then Henrique gets his first playoff goal as an Oiler, makes it 2-0 Oilers. At the 9:36 mark, 2-0 Oilers after 1. We go to the second. Hyman again makes it 3-0. At the 4:50 mark, there's McDavid's second assist of the game. And we are basically witnessing Edmonton having one of those nights by this point because Hopkins gets his first goal at the 8:24 mark. And before it's half over, the Oilers are up 4-0. That goal was on the power play. Anderson makes it 4-1 at 10:56. And then Kempe makes it interesting. At the 17:56, makes it 4-2 heading into the third. And we head to the third. The power play again cashes in for the Oilers at 1:08. They make it 5-2. The power play once again at 6:17. 6-2. You knew it was over at this point. And late in the game, when it was pretty much done, there was about 3 minutes left. Pierre-Luc Dubois makes it 6-3. Then Trevor Moore at 16:56. At 18:49, Trevor Moore makes it 6-4. But then the empty netter by Fogle at 19:34. And there's your 7-4 final. All right, guys, that's it. I'm half awake. Sorry about that. I got to get this, slap this together, and put this out to you. But look, in this game, the only one I didn't see much of, because I got annoyed, was Boston. I knew when they really didn't go with Swayman, they deserve to lose. That's it. That's it for you, Boston. That's where I stand with that. I could not believe the way Swayman played in Game 1 that they did not put him in again. He was in Toronto's heads in Game 1. You don't put in Allmark after the playoff he had last year. You put him in if Swayman gives up 3 early ones or something. You don't put in Allmark. That's my thoughts on that game. The Islanders look old and slow, folks. They look old and slow at this point, and I think I should have called Carolina in 5 in that series because I think that's what's going to happen over there. I think the Islanders might squeeze one out in overtime. They look done. They look dusted. Vegas got into, I think, my opinion, they got into the heads of Dallas, which I 100% expect them to do in this series. And that's what happened there. And Ottinger, if he does not get his game going, Dallas is done anyway. This is why, for me, guys, I honestly kind of wrote off Dallas as even a Stanley Cup threat this year. I did, because I don't believe in Ottinger like I used to. Not what I seen last year in the playoffs. He was not mentally strong enough to cope with Vegas then, and he doesn't look it right now either. Not yesterday. And the Oilers, folks, if McDavid does this, if he gets 4 or 5 points a night, and the Oilers are throwing close to 50 hits, the Oilers are winning the Stanley Cup. I'll tell you right now. If McDavid goes off, that's the two things over there. If McDavid goes off and the Oilers go off physically all at the same time, forget it. Nobody's stopping the Oilers. Nobody. Nobody. All right, guys, done for this one. I might see you guys later on throughout the day. I don't know. I got to go out and about. My phone rang like 3 times while I'm doing this video. I'll see you guys soon.